Hi guys, Happy New Year. I hope you're all really well. So this is a quick video. So yes, I'm enjoying a Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve conversation with my mate Simon, and I want to get back to it because we're having quite a laugh. But the lovely Sarah has asked me for this, so I'm going to get this done quickly. Can I remind you that we've still got the post about the intermediate group class, so let me know if that is something that you would be interested in. So Sarah's question was about apporter versus amener versus emporter versus emmener versus ramener versus rapporter versus all of those verbs. So the first point, I don't like bad-mouthing other teachers. I think the stuff that I do really well, I think the stuff that I do better than a lot of people. There's a lot of focus on voice with me, as you know. There's not a focus on reading, although we do have the reading rules videos. I like you to get really used to this blurry French sound, and I think that's something that I do very well. But as long as it's correct French, all French is a great source of French for you, as long as it's correct. Just make sure that you're saying it out loud and you're getting it in your muscle memory as per my technique, rather than just reading. But that said, one of the best things you can do for yourself is there are other videos on YouTube, as you're obviously aware. You know, I'd imagine you're signed up to other people. This is a common video topic. I thought I've done one of these before. It wasn't on there, which possibly means I just said a few naughty words in the video. But one of the great things you can do in listening to other YouTubes, just while I'm making the point, is get used to hearing different voices. I don't just mean different accents, different, genders, just get used to hearing different people's voice in French. The brain needs to know that it can recognize certain words from different accent perspectives, vocal perspectives, emotional perspectives. Literally right now, as the conversation I've just left, we're talking about some guy from Leicester and his voice and how that affects the English, whatever. So in other words, even if you kind of know the French material from my channel, don't be afraid to cast the net wide to hear other people's voices, just so that your ear gets used to hearing this material from other human voices, so that the brain can kind of work that out. Good. Right, so very quickly, let's talk about these verbs. So I always teach this in class with a little bit of a signal. So can you take your hands, A, come towards yourself, A, E, A, E, A, E. Letter A coming towards you, letter E going away from you. One of the tricks to mastering these verbs, you can basically divide these verbs into two problems. You can say which is happening the letter A or the letter E, and which is happening the porte or the men, or the mun in the infinitive. So in other words, we've got this apporter versus emporter, the EM, versus this kind of the A and the E, the amener versus the emmener, and then we've got this porter versus the money. Like, what's going on with that? Why is it porter? So those are the two questions that we can ask ourselves very quickly, and that deals with most of this problem. So the first thing is A is coming towards you, E is going away. A is coming towards you, E is going away. You're bringing something, something is coming towards you in this direction if there's the letter A, generally, and the en, which gives us as a sort of corruption, the en, from it going away. So that's one idea. A towards you, en going away from you. So in other words, apporter would be to bring something, and emporter would be to take something away. Now, don't be obsessed with the bring and the take in English, but that's the idea. So, for example, I'm going to bring some wine to the party. Ah oui, alors je vais apporter du vin à la fête. I'm going to take a bottle away with me. Je vais emporter, une bouteille avec moi. So that's the first trick. The next trick is when you are looking at people, I've said this in class before, men, women, the MEN business, that's going to be to, individually, that verb without the A and the EM at the beginning of it is to kind of lead somebody, or you can lead a life, je mène une vie. So in other words, if you've got the porter stuff, so if, for example, there were a fire, I could carry most of you, I imagine. It's probably not my first choice of transport for you, yeah? If I were going to carry what have we got? I'm going to carry this lovely candle that my friend Sam gave me. I wish I could take your pain and give it to someone we both really hate. So if you've got a person, think if you're dealing with people, you've got this MEN business, men, women business. Yeah. So that said, I'm going to bring a person, je vais amener une personne, I'm going to bring a person to the party. You know, I'm going to take somebody to another place, I'm going to take them to the airport, whatever, you know, je vais, you know, emmener to this airport. That's the next thing. Within that, remember that the men stuff has its own pronunciation problems. If you go back a few weeks on the videos, you'll see the video on stem changes. Anything that's MEN in the infinitive is mun, so amener, emmener, and in the short form will be amen, yeah, you know, amen, yeah, it'll go up, all right? So that's the next issue. Then we talk about rapporter and ramener. So basically, these are bringing somebody back. So I'm going to bring a person back with me. Okay, so oui, alors je vais ramener. You know, I'm going to bring them to the place that we're coming. I'm coming to you. So often it will also depend on the person you're speaking to. Where you are now, I'm going to bring them to you. Oui, alors je vais ramener. You know, I'm going to go and get that person now, but I'm going to bring them back to you. So je vais ramener cette personne. Ramener, je ramène, short form. So amener, amen, the vocal changes. The same with take, away with the person. So emmener and amen. The you know, you tend to say ramener more than you say ramener, sorry, but loads more commonly. You'd much more commonly say, you know, ramen. Yes, again, this idea that they're bringing them back. Now, rapporter, the minute you start getting into verbs which deal with things rather than people, you've then got the possibility of this like figurative language rather than literal language. So, for example, rapporter, which is obviously to literally bring something back, a thing back, that could obviously then be, that could be a bit figurative, like, you know, this has brought a lot of money in, this is kind of being quite productive, this is whatever. So you've got that going on. So to quickly remind you, with objects and not human beings, you know, I'm going to bring something in. Alors je vais apporter, I'm going to bring a bottle, you know. I'm going to take it away, you know, emporter. So apporter, emporter. With people, amener, short form amen, j'amène. Emmène, away, yeah, emmener, emmène, to take someone. Then at the R's to make it redo those activities. That is the bulk of the problem. So solve your A coming in and E going out, yeah. Solve your men, mun for people and your porte for objects, because you'd carry an object, but you'd lead a person. That's 95% of the dilemma here, all right? Then when you bring in the re element, obviously, yeah, you get that when you're talking about objects, you can get a bit figurative rather than literally bringing something back. Yeah, so, you know, I can bring something back that I borrowed. Well, we can also use the verb rendre for that, but oui, alors je te rapporte. That's fine, but that's more kind of like, I'm going on holiday and I'm going to bring you back some local wine. Yeah, rapporter. So the re thing is kind of obvious there. See if those help you. See if those kind of divisions help you. See if those explanations help you. Do let me know underneath. Like I said, I will more than likely be posting something else new. There's a great video coming up on star signs. Not that I'm a believer in star signs particularly, but yeah, just because it's the new year and a friend was asking me about them yesterday. All right, guys, speak to you very, very soon. Loads of love. Take care.